I need to look up how to say his name. I don't know how to say his name. Patroclus. Okay, I was right. Achilles. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be talking about The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. This was one of my 5-star reads of the year. I loved it so much. It made me cry a lot. Madeline Miller is an incredible storyteller. Like, she is mwah. And this is really refreshing after last week's review. But she is just incredible. Like, her characters, the story was amazing. So I'm just going to get right into the review without much else. I'm going to read the synopsis. Yeah, I'm going to read the synopsis and then we'll get into my pros and cons. Greece in the age of heroes, Patroclus, an awkward young prince, has been exiled to the court of King Peleus and his perfect son, Achilles. Despite their differences, the boys develop a tender friendship, a bond which blossoms into something deeper as they grow into young men. But when Helen of Sparta is kidnapped, Achilles is dispatched to distant Troy to fulfill his destiny. Torn between love and fear for his friend, Patroclus follows, little knowing that the years that follow will test everything they hold dear. Okay, let's get into the pros. Madeline Miller is an expert at emotion. She made me feel the wide range. Like, she made me feel angry, she made me feel sad, I cried, like, especially through Patroclus' early years, like, in his court, his father, when he killed that boy, mwah! And just, like, a relationship between Achilles and Patroclus, the emotion between that, yeah. I enjoyed Patroclus's and, I guess, Madeline's perception of Achilles as, like, you know, the golden lyre boy. He just liked music, he was a bit naive. He didn't think about the right things of the world, he just thought it was like his destiny, he just knew what he had to do in life. And he wasn't like a killing machine, like in the Iliad and stuff. Like, he had depth. I loved Patroclus's character progression from a, like, obviously young, scared boy who didn't know himself, he was just following everything, to a man who will stand up to Achilles, he will stand up to the kings, who does not give a shit, who will run into the heat of battle. Also, none of this is actually spoilers, this happened like thousands of years ago. It was in the Iliad. So, if you know what happens, it's common culture knowledge. The romance between these two was beautifully done. It wasn't insta love, it wasn't anything. Like, they grew to respect each other and love each other, like when they were in Chiron's like cave and everything, the way they interacted. When they were in Troy, when they were not at odds with each other, but they were tested. Stunning. Beautiful. Loved it. Madeline. Kill me yourself. Yeah, when they were in Troy and the way they each handled the grief of the war, like, the face of it, what's the word? Relishing in it somewhat. He loved that it was his destiny, he loved what he had to do. You know, it's not great to look at, but it's how he handled it, was Patroclus was like, I'm not murder, anti-murder, and he just worked in a different way, and he was known as like one of the best of the Greeks, that's a high title. Seeing the heroes of the Iliad through Madeline's perspective I loved it. I loved her perception of Odysseus mainly, because I am anti-Odysseus, and I love her for that he was smart, but he was also an absolute prick. So, I love that for her. Anyway, I'm putting spoilers here for the next bit because I'm kind of like that, even though this all was in the Iliad. I guess it's her writing anyway. Achilles' progression from, obviously, like, this golden boy with the lyre who was kind and just was, like, you know, proud, but not as he was at the end. He just loved to play his lyre, he loved to sing, he loved to talk with Patroclus, to the killing machine in Troy. He still had heart, he still cared about those around him, but he didn't see the people in Troy as human lives. He was proud of his like destiny. He was like, this is what I meant to do, look how easy I can kill these people. And Patroclus was like, yeah, like, and just how you could see through Patroclus's eyes how he strayed from that young boy he loved to the man he became, which Patroclus still loved him throughout. He was incredibly loyal, and I love that for him. But Achilles became different. He became prouder. He cared a lot about his... Spoilers again, though, once again, in the Iliad. Achilles, his reaction to the death of Patroclus broke me. I am always a sucker for grief and death in novels, and this just... right to the gut. And yeah, I'm also a huge fan of the after effect of that grief trope where he just goes batshit. Madeline, as a master of emotional storytelling, it made me feel so many things during that, like, mwah! Yeah, I literally sobbed. But yeah, further proof of Madeline's emotional storytelling. Achilles' son was barely in this, and I hated that boy. And she's good like that. He was in it for like, a few hundred pages maybe, and I wanted to end his life so easy. Patroclus and Briseis? I don't know how to say it. I'm so sorry I didn't look that one up. I loved their friendship. It was so good. I know like Briseis wanted a bit more from it, but she backed off. And you know how loyal Patroclus was to Achilles. And they were just like, they had that banter. They were really good. And how he saved her and everything, and how he went, like, he was so mad when one of the kings took her. Forgot what it was. Forgot his name. Also, oh my god, Patroclus being a little bitch and getting jealous of them. Dude. But, like, it was human of him, so I'll allow it. Now into the cons. There's not that many. Never fear. First off, her language at times was a bit dense. Once again, this is just my opinion. I'm a bit empty in my headspace. There's not a lot going on. But at times it's a bit dense, a bit hard to get through, to understand. Just me. Oh, my biggest pet peeve of this entire novel. For the love of God, Madeline, stop talking about Achilles' feet. Holy shit. Like, once was fine, but after that, there was so many times where Patroclus was like, oh, his smooth feet, I was looking at them, stop! No one... I am sick of the foot fetish. Get it out of the novel. Every time I heard about his feet, I literally groaned out loud, I don't care about Achilles' feet! It's only a little bit of a pet peeve. At times, the pacing could have been quicker, it was just a bit slow, a bit hard to slog through, a bit moments where it dragged on, but otherwise, it was fun. So yeah, that's it for my cons. Big difference to the Saviour's Champion. No offense, Shed and Mercy. But yeah, ultimately I gave this 5 stars because the few cons I had were largely outweighed by the pros. It was a beautiful story. It is one of the favourites I read this year. It is like right up there with my favourites of all time. Madeline Miller, you absolute G. I loved the complexity of her characters, the plot itself, the relationships between these characters was all beautifully done. So thank you, Madeline Miller, for this amazing story. I had different opinions about Circe, but it was still 4 out of 5 stars, so I think you're an incredible writer, and I can't wait for what you do next. Thank you all so much for watching. Like and subscribe. Make sure to look out. I think on Friday I have another book tag out, if I remember. Next week I'll have another review. My socials are in the comments down for you to follow. Peace out.